Let's talk a bit about sticking to the basics. I had the good fortune one time of talking with Quinn Buckner. Quinn Buckner, I believe, won a national championship in college in basketball, played in the NBA, played for the Celtics. And I'm a basketball fan. I'm a big Celtic fan. And I asked him, I said, he played with Larry Bird, who I think is, he and Michael Jordan, the best that ever lived. I said, what's the most amazing thing you ever saw Larry Bird do? And he said, Don, every day in practice, Larry Bird did something nobody else on the team could even think of doing, let alone do. He said he was the most amazing basketball I've ever seen in my life. But once the game started, he was the most fundamental basketball player in the world. He blocked out, he shot, he rebounded, he ran the floor well. He did nothing sensational that he could do during the game. He stuck to basics. A friend of mine coached in the NBA. He tried out 2 kids from high school. And these kids came out, and they had their heads shaved, and they wore baggy pants. They stuck their tongues out. He said these kids wanted to be Michael Jordan. And he asked them, what makes Michael Jordan sick? What makes him the best basketball player out there? And these kids said, well, he can jump, he can run, he can shoot, he can rebound. John said it's none of those things. He said Michael Jordan is the hardest working practice player in the NBA. That's why he's successful. He sticks to the basics. I'm asking you, do you stick to the basics? Do you prospect every day? And don't kid me, don't kid yourself. Be honest. Do you know every time you make a sale, you lost your best prospect? Do you ask for referrals every single time you give a presentation? Do you give a presentation every time you try to make a sale? The best people in the world are the best at the basics. I urge you, prospect every single day. Ask for the order every time you see somebody. Ask for referrals every time you see somebody. Learn how to give a presentation. Don't take anything for granted. Maybe in the 90s you could throw a dart and buy a fund. That was fine. You can't do that anymore. We're back to basics. Let me give you some exercises to keep you back to basics. Sit down once in a while on a routine basis and pretend you've been fired. Tomorrow's your first day in the new job. What would you do differently? Is there an unproductive activity you could jettison? You people, you're like a doctor. The more patients you see, the more money you make. And selling isn't telling, it's closing. And the best closers are the most basic people. Rearrange your office once a quarter to give you a visual reminder. You're going to do something different. But I know and you know, the more successful we become, the further we get away from the very basics that made us successful in the first place. The best people in this business are not the best looking, tallest, most intelligent people. They're the best prospectors. Be an inveterate prospector. Ask for the order every single day. Give a presentation. You'll be fine. The minute you stray from the basics, you're dead. Come on back to the website. Go back to basics.